guys all came. We're going to do one today on makeup. I was going to do one kind of covering everything with face, eyes, and lips, but with the amount of time we have, I didn't think that was going to work. So maybe in the future look for one where we just focus on the eyes and the lips separately. So today we're going to just talk about your flawless face, how to just get that even skin tone, how to get your complexion to be even, texture, and appear, flawless. We're also going to talk about contouring. Contouring is the new thing. Everybody's doing it. Celebrities, Kim Kardashian's kind of the forefront for it. So she started it and everybody's following suit. It can change the shape of your face. It can change, it sculpts. It's pretty cool stuff. So we'll kind of talk about a general how to do that. If you're concerned about just your face particularly, come down to the spa. We do free consults. I'd love to put some on you and talk about what you individually would like to do. All right, so a little bit beforehand, we're going to start talking just a little about our Glow Minerals makeup line. It is all that I use. Love it. It's amazing stuff. So if you're not familiar, again, come down, check it out, and don't forget you get 30% off all of it. So as an employee, as long as your FTE is 0.5 or more, you get it. Same with spouses. So if you guys have a spouse or something like that. It's award-winning formula. It delivers amazing coverage. It also has UV and environmental protections, which is great. Kind of get your sunscreen in there. I still advise using sunscreen with it, but it does help with that. It has a bunch of different pigments. It's very pigmented. Pigment's important when we talk about makeup because you gotta use less to get what you want. So the higher the pigment, the less product you need to use. It's talc-free. It's non-comedogenic. I can never say that word. Anybody want to help me out? Comedogenic? Yeah, no, I should know that, but I don't. Gluten-free products. They're all gluten-free except for the face primer, the lip filler, the smoothing salt scrub, and the lip liners. So the only one that we would be using today is the face primer, so just kind of something to think about if you want that gluten-free. And then this is even for the most sensitive type skins. So when we talk about coverage, this is an idea of someone's before and after. In her before picture, she really, in most people's opinion, she's got pretty good skin. I mean, she doesn't really have a breakout or anything like that, but we still want to, she would still want that flawless finish. Cover up some of the redness you can notice in between her eyebrows, a little bit on her cheeks, just a little uneven pigment. Help kind of do more of a flawless look. Alright, so we're just going to get into it. I'm going to leave this up. I'll kind of talk and reference some of it before. So before you even want to start any of your skincare, getting out of the shower, if you shower in the morning, or if you just wash your face with the skin, it's really important to start with a clean base. You don't want to add makeup on top of makeup. It's just going to clog your pores, cause breakouts, stuff like that. So clean the skin, and then you want to apply any of your skincare. If you're using serums, if you're using moisturizers, which are good things to be using, eye creams, make sure you apply all of that. And you want that to sit on your skin for at least 5 minutes. My routine, I usually get out of the shower in the morning, I'll do my full skincare, and then I'll blow dry my hair. Just allow that to kind of soak in, sit in, into the skin so you get those skin benefits. Primer, it's really good. What it does is it actually helps minimize pores, gives you a more flawless look. It helps your makeup last a little longer. So this is something you can skip if it's not something, if you're going for more of a day-to-day type look at work. But if you really want something to last through the evening and really just be flawless and amazing, always apply a primer first. I am not going to do that on her just because of the amount of time we have. But okay, so your first step then is to make sure you have a good foundation base color. One that matches you. I don't know how many of you women have walked around and you can just see that straight line on their jawline and you're like, oh man, I wish somebody would help her. I don't know, maybe I should say that. I at least think that. Come see me. But what you would want to do is actually talk to a professional and have a professional color match you. That's what I'm here for. Again, free consults. Come down. If you don't know what your color is, we can take the time, we can color match you, and we have it in the records for you for any future purchases. So really easy to do, and your color does change throughout the year. I mean, in the summer you get darker, typically, usually in the winter you're a little lighter. So we'll make sure we do that. Best way to see what your color is to actually put it on your jawline and match it. You want to look in the light, and if you don't have to do any blending, if it just kind of really matches, then you're usually good to go. You want to make sure you look in the light. Daylight is the best if it's available. So I'm going to apply her foundation, and I'm going to use a brush for her. This is something you can put on with your fingers. It gets a little bit more messy, but I do like using the brush. I like the look of the brush. It makes it look a little bit smoother. So I'm going to get kind of messy here first. She's going to look kind of silly. Now I have already color matched her. She likes to look a little lighter than she is, so which is not usual. Most people like to look darker. And you can, I mean, if you want more of like you want to look like you have a little color, go just one shade darker. Our honey line here, honey is going to be like the color for the white girls to look like they're nice and tan. So that's always a good one to kind of go to. Make sure you look like you have tan.
What about the tan girls? I'm not really tanning.
Bronzer. Bronzer's great. You can always add bronzer. So blending, and this doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure you get it everywhere. I like to move it down the neck. And you can already see just with a little bit of application, all of our redness kind of went away. Heavy lifted good. I have to stand somewhat in front of her, so sorry if you can't see. Just tell me to move. I myself even will go over my eyelids, so that's up to you guys as well. So just kind of a nice little base like this. Love it. So just a nice place to start. This is going to get you that all over, just flawless finish just to start off with. And blend it that side. So another mistake a lot of women make is concealing before their foundation. You are wasting product. It is important to conceal after the foundation, because as you can see here, she might have gone in and maybe like, oh, I'm a little red in the cheeks. She's lucky she doesn't have any breakouts right now, but she might even cover a breakup up with concealer prior to the foundation. So what this will do first, you want to do the foundation, make sure that it's covered. If it doesn't get covered, then you can go back in with your concealer and say, I do need a little bit more coverage there. You're using a lot less product. And when you have concealer on before foundation, you put the foundation on, it sometimes moves that concealer, and it's not the coverage you want. So I don't think she needs that much concealer, maybe a little under the eyes. So we could do that. This is going to help with dark circles. Our concealers are in a cream-like consistency, and I use a brush for this as well. So I'm going to look up. When we talk about foundation as well too, there's different levels that you can do. If you want a real nice flawless look, use it more of like a cream that we use. If you really just want to just kind of tone it down, use one of our pressed bases. It's going to be like something like this. This comes with a sponge, and you can apply this with a sponge. You'll get a pretty good coverage. I would say about a medium coverage. If you want an even lighter coverage, you can apply it with a brush. So this is our #1 top-selling mineral makeup that we sell here. It's like awesome. So, and we'll kind of go into that when we start talking about her setting. Just because we're going to do more of a full face, we applied that liquid first. Okay, so contouring in cheeks. We do have new palettes down into the spot. These are brand new, and I do have a limited supply as of right now. I'm working on getting more in. But this is what they look like. This is the fair to medium, or fair to light. So this one has 2 highlights colors and 2 contour colors. It also comes with a nice guide at the top of where you want to do that, and I'll show that in the next slide, and we'll kind of talk about where that needs to be done. So if you forget what you learned here, this is a great way to reference back. This also comes in a medium to dark. The medium to dark is currently what I have in stock now. So I am using the light to fair in her because she is a lighter skin tone. You can also purchase the contour and highlight brush, and I'll kind of show you how to use that too. So these retail for $36. This is $36 and this is $29, I believe. Remember, you're 30% off. Next. So this is a blown up version. Hopefully you guys can kind of tell what that is. So contouring is going to take away, it's going to slim, it's going to create this more sculpted look, where the highlight is going to pop. It's what you want to show. It's what you want to look like you got that nice glow kind of look to it. And then really important when we do this is blending. Make sure everything's blended together. You, again, don't want to have that straight line. You can always apply more. Start off less. You can always add. It's harder to take away. So we'll start with that. And I'm going to start with the darkest color for her, which is this one here. And I'm going to use the rounded end. This is kind of more of a flat. You guys can see that. And this is kind of more rounded. We're just going to grab a little bit of product. I like to tap it out a little bit so you don't have so much excess. And we're going to apply this directly. This is her jaw, or her cheekbone, the middle of her cheek. A good way to tell is from the ear to the mouth. And then this is the jawline. So we want to put it right here. And sometimes I like to make it look really sharp first and then go back in and blend. Tickles because it's a soft, soft brush.
Yes. So soft.
Okay, so then a lot of times too, it depends. You know, if you've got a chin that kind of pokes down more and you want to kind of deter from it or don't want people to notice it as much, you can put it directly on the bottom there to kind of help it make it look more round. I know that they didn't do this on this model, but I do have a lot of clients who have said that to me, so I wanted to talk about that. I like to do the high forehead. And then this one over here. Again, we're kind of creating that round face. And this just depends on your shape too and how much you want to do. And then, you know, a lot of people will too just do just the jawline itself. But you want to leave a little bit of space here, otherwise you're hollowing out this entire area. This one you want to be careful. You don't want to apply too much because then you will have that line that we talked about on the jaw. Can you guys see that from way back there? Mm-hmm. It's just kind of creating life to her face instead of all being one tone. Okay, so then we're going to take the flat, and I use the flat, I forgot to say that, I use the flat end just to kind of help blend things out. We're going to use the matte, there's a shimmer and there's a matte. We're going to use the matte light, which is the highlight, and we're going to apply that directly underneath the eyes, almost like a V shape. So we're going to go to that cheekbone, to the nose, and then up. Grab a little bit more product.
Hey, Bree, do all these products that absorb oil?
Yeah, I mean, you really, if you're oily, who asked me that? If you're really, really oily, it's best to probably start with your skincare and kind of combat that. But using powders is definitely going to help calm that shininess down and that oiliness. But you really don't want to use makeup to absorb oil. You really want to use skincare to help control that. So same with the other eye. A lot of people like to do on the nose and then up on the forehead, but again we want to stay away from that crown where we did at the top, just right in the middle of the forehead, between those brows. chin. And then right on the Cupid's bow. So we're almost using this contour too as her setting powder to help kind of set everything together.
Cupid's bow.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew that? You did?
Is that because you guys have seen me talk to me about it? So blending that out. Myself, I don't like my thick nose, so a lot of times I'll contour the dark sides on each side of my nose to help it appear to be skinnier. She has that pictured here. Is that something you would want me to do for you? Okay. So that's just going to be the dark part on each side of the nose. Again, you don't want to go too far down because we did highlight right there. And I'm using the skinnier side of the brush. Just to help create a little bit more of a narrow looking nose. And right there too. So I've made hers pretty subtle. If she was gonna get married or go to prom or something like that, maybe do a little bit more dramatic. If she was getting pictures taken, again, maybe do a little bit more dramatic. So that's kind of the gist of contouring. Does anybody have questions about that? No? Yeah.
You do want an area to look bigger.
What's that?
If you got like a little nose and you want it to look like a bigger nose.
Then don't contour at all and highlight. Yep. And you can highlight the whole entire nose if you really wanted to. Or we might have to play around with you too. I've never gotten that question. Most people don't want their nose to look bigger. But yeah, we could definitely come down. We'll do that. We'll play around and talk about that. So afterwards, you really want to set on your foundation. With any powders, we have 3 types of powders. We have the pressed that I talked about earlier. It's fine blended triple milled. That's pressed into a solid chunk of makeup. And then we have the loose, which is going to be the same formula, but it comes as like a powdery type form. This would only want to be applied with a brush, otherwise it's going to be pretty messy if you do a sponge. Really isn't going to work as well. And then we have our translucent. Translucent means that it doesn't have any pigment in it, so you can, this is a really good one if you're contouring, because you don't want to put a color on top of everything we just did, otherwise it's not really going to make a difference. This one also comes with a sponge. I've never applied with a sponge, I prefer a brush.
Marie,
Yes?
do you not do any kind of cheek color if you contour them?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I like questions.
I said it would be next.
So just lightly kind of dusting it. If any women have a problem with any under the eyes kind of creasing with makeup and the lines, I personally have that. The more powder you apply under there, especially translucent, the more it's going to kind of set that so it doesn't crease. It's kind of like a little trick there that I've learned. So as you see here, Serene looks pretty dang smooth. Alright, then lastly we want to do the cheeks. When you're doing contour, you can do the cheeks kind of like they used to. Do I have that on there? No. In the 80s, and I actually still do this myself because I like it, but the kind of like the streak. So that's really up to you. More so now, it's all about the apples of the cheeks. So I'll kind of show you what's popular nowadays. But what this is going to do, it's going to help make your skin look healthier. It's going to make you look younger, and it's kind of making it pop and look youthful. You've got the little youthful pink tones to your apples of your cheeks. I'm going to use her color, which is hibiscus. This is a nice like pink mauve color. This is kind of my go-to. Looks good on almost everybody. So just a little bit of that. Again, I like to tap it out just so it's not too strong. And then go ahead and smile. You want to apply that just to the apples. The cheeks, I usually do kind of a rotating motion. And make sure it's blended. I want it to be dark enough so you guys in the back can see without it making her look silly in the front.
We can make her walk around afterwards.
So that's kind of what the look would be if you wanted. Then you would want to go into your eyes and do all of that. We won't go into that today, but that's kind of how to get like a flawless look, how to contour, how to highlight, all that. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Thanks for coming. A little side note, I've said this a couple of times, 30% off all of our products, not just our makeup, but all of our products down in the spa for any employees, if your FTE is 0.5 or more, and as well as your spouse. And then don't forget, you're all invited to our spa open house. It's November 12th. It's a Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30. We do hand massage demonstrations from the massage therapist. We've got Botox happening at 25% off, which is huge. We've got wine serving, we've got hors d'oeuvres, we've got tons of product deals, and 20% off all of our services. Remember, you do get 30, they get 30? No, they get 50% off our services, so.
But massage is included at
but-
the spa.
Yep, but massage is included at that 20% off, which is a better deal than the employee rates get. So don't forget, if you want a discount on your massages with Jody and Sheila, come on down. So, does that sound good? I do have over on this table, I've got some employee menus. I've got a little bit more information about the contouring kits, and then in the pumpkin I do have more information about the spa open house. So feel free to take what you like. All right, thank you.